Have you ever found yourself with a notebook full of English words? Thousands of them, all neatly written down with their translations. Yet, when you try to speak, your mind just goes blank. You know the words, you've spent hours, maybe even weeks, memorizing them. You can ace a vocabulary test, no problem. But stringing them together into a coherent sentence feels like trying to solve an impossible puzzle. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. This is a journey so many of us go on. I remember that feeling so vividly. It was a mix of frustration and, honestly, a little bit of embarrassment. I'd have a conversation, and someone would ask me a simple question. In my head, I could see the dictionary pages flipping, searching for the perfect word. By the time I found it, the moment was gone. The conversation had moved on, and I was left feeling stuck, like I was standing on the other side of a glass wall, watching everyone else connect and communicate effortlessly. It's a heavy feeling, isn't it? It makes you question if you're even capable of learning this language. You start to wonder, what am I doing wrong? Why is it so hard? This stage, this struggle phase, is the first and often the toughest part of the journey. It's where the dream of fluency feels the most distant. Then something starts to shift. It's not a sudden change, but a slow, almost imperceptible one. You begin to piece things together. This is the transition phase. You're no longer just memorizing isolated words. You're starting to build sentences. But it's a slow, clunky process. Every single sentence you want to say is first constructed in your native language and then painstakingly translated word by word into English. For me, I remember trying to order a coffee. In my head, the sentence was perfect in my language. But then came the translation. I want to have a coffee, large size, with milk, no sugar. I'd be standing there, silent for a few seconds, mentally dragging and dropping words into the right order. The grammar would get tangled up. Do I say a coffee large or a large coffee? Is it with milk or milk with? These little hesitations, these mental blocks, can be so frustrating. You know what you want to say, but the translation process acts like a bottleneck, slowing everything down and mistakes. Oh, there were plenty. I once told someone I was so boring when I meant to say I was so bored. The other person gave me a strange look, and I didn't even realize my mistake until hours later. It's in these moments that your brain feels like it's working overtime. You're constantly switching between two languages, and it's exhausting. It feels like you're running a marathon just to have a simple chat. You might feel awkward, you might feel slow, but this is actually a sign of incredible progress. You're no longer just a passive learner, you're an active builder. You are constructing language, and that is a huge leap forward. Every clumsy sentence, every mental translation is a stepping stone. You're laying the foundation brick by brick for what comes next. It's messy, it's difficult, but it's absolutely essential. And then one day it happens. It's not planned, it's not forced, it just happens. You're in the middle of a conversation, or maybe you're just watching a movie, or even just thinking to yourself, and you realize you're doing it in English. I was excited, gesturing with my hands, and the words were just flowing out. I wasn't thinking about grammar rules or sentence structure. I was just talking. And about halfway through the story, a little voice in the back of my head whispered, "Wait a minute. You didn't translate any of that." It was a magical moment. It felt like a switch had been flipped in my brain. The mental gymnastics of translation were gone, and in their place was a direct line from thought to speech. This is the phase where your confidence truly begins to soar. You start to feel like a participant, not just an observer. You can make a joke and see someone laugh in real time. You can express a complex thought, a feeling, a nuance, and know that you've been understood. The language stops being a foreign code you need to decipher and starts becoming a part of you, a tool you can use to express who you are. The fear of making mistakes doesn't disappear entirely, but it gets a lot quieter. It's replaced by the joy of connection, the thrill of spontaneous conversation. You start dreaming in English. You start talking to yourself in English. It becomes the background noise of your mind. This breakthrough isn't a finish line. It's the beginning of a whole new relationship with the language. It's the moment you stop learning English and start living in it. So, how do you get there? How do you make that leap from translating to thinking? The key is to change your approach. Stop treating English like a subject you study and start treating it like an environment you live in. First, immerse yourself. Change the language on your phone and computer to English. Your brain will start to pick up the rhythm, the flow, the natural way people speak. Another powerful technique is to start narrating your own life in your head. In English, when you're making breakfast, think, "Okay, I'm opening the fridge. I'm taking out the milk. Now I'm pouring the milk into my cereal." It sounds simple, maybe even a little silly, but you are building direct neural pathways between your thoughts and the English language, bypassing the translation step entirely. Don't be afraid to talk to yourself out loud. Find a topic you're passionate about: sports, cooking, video games, anything, and try to explain it to an imaginary friend for 1 or 2 minutes in English. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is practice. It's about getting your mouth and your mind used to forming English words and sentences spontaneously. This mindset shift is crucial. Don't punish yourself for mistakes. Every error is a learning opportunity. Be patient, be persistent, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. You are retraining your brain, and that takes time. Celebrate the small victories, like understanding a line in a song or ordering your coffee without a mental script. These small wins build the momentum that carries you to fluency. As we wrap up, I want you to just take a slow, deep breath. Think about where you are on this journey. Maybe you're still in that notebook phase, feeling frustrated. Maybe you're in the middle of the translation marathon, feeling exhausted but determined. Or maybe you've had those first magical glimpses of thinking directly in English. Wherever you are, it's exactly where you need to be. Learning a language is not just an intellectual exercise. It's an emotional one. Remember that every translated sentence, every moment of confusion is bringing you one step closer. Don't give up. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep thinking, keep immersing yourself in the beautiful, messy, wonderful process of making this language your own.